for a specific reason and you don't find it, you discover it because it's already inside of you. So that's how I've been able to kind of go through my life experiences. Like, oh, I went through that. Like, oh, I have a testimony now because I passed the test. Or all these things that happened to me weren't always exclusively for me, but no one's going to know how to overcome if I am too quiet, if I don't speak up. So knowing and having the wisdom on when to speak and how to speak, that all matters. I'm Anthony Moody, and I am a husband, father, LPCA, so a licensed professional counselor associate from the great city of Dayton, Ohio. I do practice a lot of individual group counseling. I work with a lot of different demographics, so primarily I like the 16 to 25 young black man. That's where my heart is at. I'm all about mindset, so my personal mantra is everything starts and ends with your mindset. So to find a way to use that clinically, using CBT, DBT, and being able to help find the root cause of what's going on with them. And I just help people get unstuck. So practical, clinical help, but then just kind of keep it cool.
Can you tell me about just your journey through education and what that looked like and what got you to being where you are today?
I went to Kentucky State University for undergrad, accounting major. That's where my start was. I was on the academic full-ride scholarship, so I always took school seriously because I kind of low-key knew that was my way out, but didn't know how to prepare for it. I was first generation college grad, so it was very interesting to navigate that career path. My accounting career, I advanced pretty quick, but I'll start having panic attacks at work.
Oh, and just because of that stress,
and just because I don't think it was aligned to my true purpose. So I always go back to when my wife had our first child. She was going through postpartum. I wanted to figure out how to support her, and I was stressed out working 2 jobs, didn't like what I was doing. And I just, for whatever reason, said, hey, maybe I need to go talk to somebody. Yeah. Honestly, I didn't want to work for the next 30, 40 years being miserable. So I'm like, if I could sacrifice another 5, 10 years to live the next 30 to 40 the way I want to, doing something I enjoy doing, it was worth it. Yeah. So that's why I kind of took that risk. 2019, I actually walked into my job at the time at a severance package. So for a year, I was just trying to figure out life. And I just remembered, what can I do that makes it feel like I'm not working every day, but I can still make some good money from it? I was like, well, I like talking to people. Even though I'm not introvert, I'm not extrovert, I call myself an ambivert. Yeah. I'm somewhere in between. I was like, all right, let me start doing that. So I went and got my life coach certification, did that, started my business, did some mindset coaching and bookkeeping. And then, lo and behold, Dr. Keith Wilson. I looked up on the internet, saw a PhD. I was like, hey, there's a PhD that's not a doctor? Because it's foreign to me at the time. Yeah. I sent him an email. Within 20 minutes, he emailed me back. The next day, we was on Zoom for an hour and a half. And he low-key recruited me and said, why don't you come into this clinical mental health counseling program? So I applied for that in December of 2020, got accepted early 2021. And then I actually started August of 2021, graduated last year.
What was that experience like for you, like to be mentored and be seen in that way, and also have an opportunity to go to school and learn these things with that mentorship?
It was foreign to me, to be honest. He saw something in me that I didn't even see. And he said, man, you remind me of me, so I want to give you answers to questions you will never think that you'll be asked, and also give you questions to get the answer that you don't even think you need. I put a lot of pressure on myself, and it's always what's next, what's next, what's next. So it taught me how to kind of slow down, appreciate your moments, and learn how to just tell people thank you. You know, I had an older gentleman that was really, really close to me. He told me, like, just learn how to say thank you. You don't got to receive everything that someone tells you, but sometimes you can learn about yourself by listening to other people, especially when you trust them. Because, you know, we can have low self-esteem, be blind to certain things, could have had trauma, so now we suppress it. We don't know how to receive it. Right. So it was nice to have a genuine relationship where he wanted nothing from me, but just wanted to pour into me and just help build me up. So just being able to continue to talk to him time and time and time again, and, you know, be honest, like not really feeling like I could do this on my own anymore. So I need to try something different. Yeah. So it put me outside of my comfort zone to talk to a male like that. But I look back and now he was a very integral part in, you know, my life and this transition.
What made you want to work with young black men?
Because I was one. Yeah. And I remember how reckless I used to be and just not having somebody to talk to. Yeah. So not having that mental and emotional support as I thought I should have had. So turn around and do that for the ones that may not have it, especially because we have some trauma and a target on our backs always, no matter what we do. So you got to be able to have someone to help you in your corner to navigate.
I'm curious, like, how do you get younger black men to want to come in and speak with you? Like, what do you think it is about you that kind of makes people gravitate to you? Because that's not an easy role to be in, but people are definitely looking at you. Like, what would be your response to, like, a black man who is like, you know what, I want to get therapy, but I don't feel comfortable talking to no black man?
I actually just recently did that with a new client. I did an intake a couple weeks ago, and he was like, man, I've been struggling. Man, my girlfriend said I should go talk to somebody. And I came in here, I didn't know what to expect, but you don't look like a therapist, so I think it's cool. Like, I joke with my admin all the time, like, I need to make that my brand because literally every day someone makes that comment. But you could tell they kind of just on edge. They sit kind of skeptical, trying to feel you out. So I kind of just try to create a safe space. Like, you know what, man? You need somebody to talk to. We all do, man. Yeah. You're not weak for talking. You're actually weak because you don't talk.
Yep.
So when I went through my practicum, I was at a middle school. I did my very first time was with young black men, 7th graders. Right. So learning how to relate to them. And it's like, Mr. Moody, you don't look like a therapist, man. You know, I'm in my Nike Techs or, you know, just not even looking like what they thought was a therapist. So me just being real cool, down to earth, taking the time to actually get to know them, like, you know, what music you listen to, find ways to connect with them. If it's sports, you know, knowing their shoes, knowing their clothing, knowing how to really show that I'm paying attention to you, but I once was in your position. And this is okay to talk to somebody, and you need to. Really getting into what do you like? What do you dislike? How can I reach you on a man-to-man basis, but then also as a human? So once you tap into that and they feel comfortable, they talk more than women do.
Yeah, oh, they do. Trust me. I
what,
know.
Yeah, so then because you create that safe space, and most of the time we've had it bottled up since we was probably about our teenage years.
Yep. I'm just curious, like, what's the most difficult part of seeing clients these days?
The trauma they experience. A good maybe 5 or 10 of my clients have specific gun violence. So when you hear that stuff, I've learned how to grow in empathy, right. But I've also learned how to not take it home with me. You never know what someone needs. So me being a client-centered or person-centered therapist to a certain extent, but also I'm able to confront them to make sure that they pull out whatever it is that needs to be pulled out, but make sure they're honest and vulnerable because I can't help you unless you're honest with me. Yeah. So learning how to be relatable. I'm not your typical therapist. I don't look like your typical therapist. So clients say I create a safe space for them to talk. Even if they have a really good relationship with their parents or their friends, they say, hey, certain things I don't want to tell them because their view of me might change based off of them. Or they may view a past version of you and they're stuck there and not realize that you're growing and changing right before their eyes. So being that person for them kind of helps me put in perspective, like, I'm blessed to be able to do what I do, but I'm also able to learn so many different ways to help many different people on a daily basis. You never know who's going to walk in or what they're going to walk in with, and I got to be prepared.
I'm curious about, like, you know, what about this work feeds you? What is it that, you know, continues to make you want to go in, even through the exhausting things, even having to hold people's pain on a day-to-day? Like, what is it that fuels you about the work?
I look at this as my calling. So it's not just a job for me. So I submit to the Most High in certain sessions where I say a quick prayer, like, give me the wisdom to answer this question, give me the wisdom to counsel this person. So I'm able to tap into that when I know it's not just me, because you're not going to be familiar with every circumstance or whatever situation that comes through. But then also the beautiful side of the thing is when you see someone come in one way and they leave better, they leave more relaxed. I actually had a client this past week, they cried for 35 minutes. And you learn that sometimes they just need to get it out. Like, silence is okay. You don't got to always talk to them. You don't got to always ask them a question. And you never know what they need that day. Because I joke with my clients, I'm like, all right, bro, we got 1 hour. You got to live your life for 167 hours to the next time we meet again. Yep. I can't be the only thing that gets you through. So being able to empower people by teaching them skills that help them live their life. So you almost become not just that support system, but you also become the person that's pushing them. So when you do that, it's gratifying because you can see people come in one way and leave another way. You look up 6 months, you do assessments, their scores go down. You're like, wow, it's so cool. And it's cool when you have that, but then you also, on the flip side, you have people who regress. And that hurts because sometimes you'll blame yourself. You're not going to be able to help everyone.
I want to save you. Like, just listen.
And that's not our job to save them. I'm here to come alongside of you, help you get unstuck, maybe give you whatever I can give you to help you. You know, if you just pulling on them emotionally, but you never teach them anything and pouring into them, they're not going to remember anything they said in that 50-minute session, and they're going to leave and just, it is what it is. So when you learn how to connect with people and you say things that help them to remember, that's how you impact them.
I'm curious about what advice would you have for a black male who wants to go into doing mental health work?
It starts with you first. Your healing journey has to be started before you start helping other people in their healing journey, because you're going to have to go through a lot of uncomfortable conversations. And if you aren't well and you can't handle it, you're not going to survive. I would also recommend reading as much as you can about it. Like, I know there's a lot of mental health advocacy out here, But stay off TikTok and social media to learn your mental health stuff. Don't self-diagnose yourself. Don't go into Google. Go talk to people, and preferably maybe try to explore a therapist and just see what their experience was, how they can help. And I always leave with everything starts and ends with your mindset. That's my mantra. That's what I live by. So please prioritize your mental health, which includes emotional health, so you can have a better quality of life and better interpersonal relationships.